Hello, precious souls. Welcome to Infinite Union. I'm Aura, and this is a podcast on twin flames. For more videos, don't forget to subscribe. So in one of my very first videos on this channel, I mentioned about childhood trauma, but I didn't really dive into it so much. So this video, we're going to talk about childhood trauma. And we've all heard many spiritualists and many twin flame coaches or other individuals on the YouTube community talk about quote unquote healing childhood trauma and what this aspect plays in the twin flame journey. So in the same sense, you're also reliving it every time someone says you need to heal your childhood trauma. So when your twin flame does or says something and you feel the need to react to it, because we all can relate to that, where we feel that we need to react to what our twin flame is doing. So what are you really reacting to? Let's just think about that for a minute. A need, a want, maybe something that you never had as a child. What is triggering that? So the attention that maybe perhaps you never got when you were a young child, but this is also a form of abandonment. And you can tell when you have some of these things happening to you because maybe perhaps you are oversensitive to feedback. You are overreacting to conflict. And when we overreact to conflict, we tend to distance ourselves from it. And also maybe perhaps we have extremist tendencies, ghosting at the first sight of conflict, people pleasers. We are overly extending ourselves to others. Sometimes we have self-doubt, insecurity, staying in a constant cycle of abusive relationships even. And we attract a lot of these individuals with similar qualities to our childhood trauma. So this is just a few things that we're pinpointing, but we're just touching on the surface at this time. So part of this is seeking validation outside of self. So we feel we need it from others, but we really don't. And as a child, maybe we weren't given that knowledge or taught that at that time, or we weren't given specific things. But one thing that we should know about this childhood trauma or this type of abandonment that we are experiencing is that none of it is your fault. None of it. So, and that is one thing that we must accept, especially on this twin flame journey. None of it is your fault. Whatever happened between your parents or whichever parent that it is not your fault. So also one thing to keep in mind while on this journey is the people that you are attracting may also share the same type of trauma experiences, and we can also often tend to feel like we need to fix them. We need to make them better. But the reality of it is we don't need to do that. It isn't your job to fix anyone. It is your job to simply focus on what's active in your vibration. And that's it. You don't need any type of external validation. External validation is what drives you, but when you don't need it anymore is when your twin flame returns. So that is when they appear. So how can you help with this type of energy? And I'll list a couple things in this video, but you can work on your vibration and you can work on what's currently active in your vibration by meditating. You can also focus. You can also write some things down on some things that you are possibly noticing. You can also develop some form of self-expression, whether that be to feel every single emotion, which that is okay. It is okay to feel these emotions because emotions are going to tell us what we are attracting and also what we are resisting as well. So when we are resisting anything, sometimes we feel a sense of blockage, and sometimes certain blockages can make us feel resentment, angry, sad. So all of these things play a factor on this twin flame journey, but one thing that you should really keep in mind as well, if you have any type of hatred, angst, sadness, anything along those lines, you will keep experiencing those same cycles with them over and over and over again until you are ready for the next stage of your twin flame journey. And that goes the same to say they'll keep returning and then going. They'll keep returning and then going because we are in that same never-ending cycle. So, and some of you might be saying to yourselves, well, Aura, how do I fix this? How do I fix what's active in my vibration? So how you fix it is by simply raising those vibrations, trying to keep them level, and also focusing more on your intake, what you are bringing into your body as well, and healing. And we all say this a lot of spiritualists say this a lot, but healing can go very far. Healing can be in the form of having spiritual experiences, which I've talked about in some of my other videos, but having spiritual experiences, going out and having an experience to begin with. Maybe a manifestation experience can be a spiritual experience. Maybe a law of attraction experience could be a spiritual experience. Maybe going out on a nature walk could be a spiritual experience. Possibly going and having some coffee can be a spiritual experience. And it can even be so simple as going out and having a cup of coffee, or perhaps attracting a friend that you haven't talked to in a very long time. That can most certainly be a spiritual experience. But it is all working out because that is also part of this journey. That is part of this path. So, I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. Until next time, I'm Aura, and this is Infinite Union.